So I'm live. Let's go over here. I'm live. Yeah. Today is Thursday, July 6th, in the year 2023. I'm reading this book. It's called 2061, Photographing Mars. It's a book written by Richard Brightfield, illustrated by Vincent Nguyen. So that's the story. I'm reading that. Mars at last. After a 2-week trip, Pam finally landed on Mars. As she walked into the terminal, her legs felt wobbly. On the Mars flight, she had spent 4 hours a day in artificial gravity. But even so, she wasn't used to standing up. With a quick glance at the screen of her computer goggles, she reminded herself of the names of her hosts. She went to the cafeteria in the terminal, where she would meet them. It was crowded with people of all ages. Some of the food was brought in from Earth, but Pam was eager to try the veggies. The veggies grown in greenhouses on Mars. The cucumbers were cool and fresh. The carrots sweet and crisp. As she was finishing her meal, a boy and a girl about her age came up to her table. "You must be Pam," said the boy. This is the 3 people. "Kenzo," replied Pam. "It's so nice to meet you." "And you must be well," Pam added, turning to the girl. "I'm really glad you can help me with my photo project." "Were you born here on Mars?" "Yes, and so was Kenzo," said Val. "That's why we wanted to be your partners. A lot of our friends remember Earth, but we have never been there." "Pam, you must have read about Mars on your trip over. Do you know what you want to photograph?" "Well, I definitely want to see the face in Kidonia," Pam said. Kenzo and Val exchanged a glance. "Oh, that," Kenzo said. "It's just a big pile of rocks. There are so many interesting things on Mars. We wonder why people come all the way here just to see that." Pam was surprised, but she said politely, "I'm sure you are right, but I promised my class I'd photograph it." So, it will be a longer story. This is the next one. Now they go to photograph. Pam sat talking with her new friends in the cafeteria. She could tell they had a lot of affection for Earth, where their parents were born. They were both training in a high gravity Jim to travel to Earth. Earth's gravity was much stronger than Mars's. So they had to prepare carefully to avoid injury. Well, you will need to pick up your Mars suit, said Kenzo. Your computer probably sent your size, but the suit will have to be fitted. They went to a room in the terminal where a technician carefully checked the suit. Perfect, perfect fit, the technician said. The special material would protect her from the thin atmosphere and from the threat of the sun's ultraviolet rays. The suit had a soft, clear helmet that went right over her goggles. Here you see her. The three young people next walked to the garage. Your school lent us a rover to show you around, said Kenzo. You can drive it yourself, Pam asked, feeling jealous. I won't be able to drive an Earth car until I'm 18. Yeah, or 16 when you're in the US. There's a lot less traffic here. Well said, laughing. Pam attached the camera to her computer goggles, actually. She photographed the terminal behind the rover and the huge dome far away to the right. The camera would store 100 pictures on a disk and then transmit them to her classroom on Earth by satellite. That dome under construction over there is going to cover a new city. Well said. They are digging a crater for the base. It's 5 miles across. So now they are going to the canyon, the incredible canyon. When will we get to Kidonia? Pam asked. In a while, Kenzo said. There are some other things we would like to show you first, like the largest natural feature on any planet in our solar system. You can see it from Earth with a telescope. We will be there tomorrow, said Well. We'll stay overnight in the way station. They are spread all around the planet. We can get something to eat, get more air, and refuel the rover with hydrogen. As the sun dropped low in the sky, a large cube appeared in the distance. It was starkly white against the colored surface of the planet Mars. When they arrived at the cube, Whale pressed a button on the rover and an airlocked slit open at the cube's base. This is the cube. Whale parked Quasar and got out. We can catch the sunset, she said. They went outside and Pam began aiming her goggles all around, snapping pictures. The ground was covered with rocks. in every shade of red, pink, and orange. And some had tiny crystals in them that sparkled like jewels. Sunset looked completely different from Mars. Its atmosphere turned the rays crimson and orange, with pale greens mixed in. Then it was suddenly dark. The stars were brilliant overhead. This, there was a bright object that looked about half the size of the Earth's moon moving across the sky. That's our potato shaped moon, said, and the name of the moon is Phobos, Kenzo said, pointing up. It's much smaller than Earth's moon, but it's a lot closer to us. Deimos, our other moon, is so small it looks like a star. Here, Kenzo is pointing. This is the potato moon. Next two pages. Pam, Kenzo, and Whale each had a small room in the way station. They started out again the next day. What is the climate like? Pam asked. I can feel anything. Through my Mars suit. It's summer, and right now she checked a dial in the rover. It's 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If it were winter, it would be 60 to 90 degrees below zero. Could we get lost out there? Pam asked. No chance, Well said. There aren't many roads, but we have methods of navigation. The rovers have detailed maps and can find their way even in a dust storm. We can also track our location by satellite. Just before noon, Whale drove off the road and got out. Don't get too close to the edge, she said. It's a 3-mile drop to the bottom. 3 miles, Pam repeated. That's right, Will said. Earth's Grand Canyon is small compared to this. This canyon is 3 times as deep and much longer. It would stretch from New York to Los Angeles. It's named Valles Marineris or Mariner Valley, after the first space probe from Earth, almost 100 years ago. We are at the western end, so it's only about 60 miles across, but in some places it's 250 miles across. I've seen movies of it, but seeing it in person is still so amazing, Pam said. She took dozens of photographs while clinging to a rock safely back from the edge. Is it true that it was formed by water? It's so dry here. Millions of years ago, Mars was much warmer and had rivers, lakes, maybe oceans, said Cancer. Or Cancer answered. So this is the next 2 pages. Let's see how many more are there. Okay. Millions of years ago, Mars was much warmer and had rivers, lakes, maybe oceans. Cancer answered. But now there is only ice near the poles. The canyon side have layers of sediment left by water. Whale said, yeah. Also, there are thousands of water carved candles leading into it. My mother says that the rivers and lakes will come back one day, Kenzo said. When Mars is terraformed, terraformed, made more like Earth, with a thicker atmosphere and a warmer climate, she is a scientist working on terraforming, he said with pride. You will meet her where we are going next. To Kidonia? Pam asked. Well, we will get there, but first we are going to the top of the tallest mountain in the solar system. So they are going to the tallest mountain in the, yeah, and then we have another one, finally Kidonia. It will take us a couple of days to get there, Whale said. We have to go around the western end of the canyon. There are several way stations along the way. It's a very popular route. Olympus Mons is the most photographed place on Earth, on Mars. I thought the face was the most photographed, Pam said. There you go with the face again, Kenzo said. Do you think it's true that there was an intelligent life on Mars ages ago that built the face? Pam asked. Ah, no way, said Kenzo. Kidonia is just a pile of rocks. This is the mountain. For the next 2 days, well, Kenzo and Pam explored ancient riverbeds and craters. Pam sent photos back to her class and got return messages saying how much everyone liked them. Are you close to the mountain? Pam asked. We are going up the side of it now. There is a ringtone. Yep, I will close it now and continue reading. Yep. Okay. So finally, also the mountain Olympus Mons is 3 times higher than the Earth's Mount Everest. Mount Everest. So Kenzo said, finally, they reached the top and looked into a deep crater. Looking away from the mountain, Pam could see the curve of the planet, and in the other direction, the crater stretched for 50 miles. There was a scattering of buildings on the floor of the crater 10,000 feet below. A road was cut into the sloping ridge of the crater down to the bottom. When they got there, they all went to a lava-proof building in which Kano's mother worked. She already knew well Whale and Kenzo introduced Pam. We are testing to see if there's any volcanic activity still going on under the mountain. Kenzo's mother said, if it became an active volcano, it could spew out carbon dioxide and build up the Martian atmosphere. Kenzo's mother explained more about terraforming to Pam. Then she asked her son, where are you going from here? We are taking Pam up to Kidonia, Kenzo said. That's a long trip. Your vacation is over in 2 days, she reminded them. You'd better take the rocket. So, and this is the last trip, 3 more pages, and then I'm ending the reading. Finally, Kidonia. With his mother's small rocket, the trip to Kidonia was only a couple of hours. Just before they landed, Pam caught a glimpse of the face from above. Nearly a small building housed the Kidonia Information Center and a gift shop, which sold maps, souvenirs, and t shirts. Pam bought gifts for her family while Kenzo rented a go kart. The cliff should be our first stop, Kenzo said. From there, we can get an overview of the area. He drove the car to the cliff, a wall about 100 feet high and 3 miles long. And here you can see the face. They left the go kart at one end of the cliff and walked up above a path to the top. Pam was having fun taking photographs. This is amazing, she said. Do you really think nature formed this? My theory is that this whole area was once covered with a mile deep layer of mineral matter. Well said. Then, over millions of years, the wind blew most of it away, leaving a bunch of large mounds. The famous face was a plateau about 2 miles long and 2,000 feet high. From the ground, it had the aspect of a somewhat flattened face. Later, they inspected a mile-high rock structure that looked like a pyramid with 5 sides. Then they moved on to a group of three-sided rocks that seemed to have been arranged around an open central area. And the last page is, I'm not reading the questions. You can, so the book has the 16 pages, and the last one is Pam photographed them all. So, what do you think? Kenzo asked her. Were there ancient Martians? Well, all this doesn't look like an accident, but you never know, she added quickly. I certainly understand why people are so interested in the place, she said, taking a few final pictures. You know what? A flight to Earth leaves my flight to Earth leaves tomorrow, and I'm supposed to be on it. No problem, Kenzo said. The space terminal is less than half a day trip in the rocket. You have both been great, Pam said. I couldn't have completed my photo project without you. I'm sorry to leave Mars. Do you think you will ever come to Earth? I hope we can, Pam. Well answered. I hear it's pretty interesting there too. And happy, healthy, and very wealthy Thursday from Midtown Atlanta. I'm ending the stream now and see you on the next video, YouTube video live.